It's a Kansas Republican governor who's also in the fight of his life in a state that now is, I don't know, Governor, in an anti-incumbent mood, or what's going on?
Well, who knows for sure. I know people aren't happy with President Obama. And they're not happy with the overall direction of the country. And we're trying to set a different course in the state of Kansas and pointing out getting our taxes down, growing the economy. And I think overall we'll move forward. We'll move forward positively. But right now they've got a negative view overall of what's taking place in America.
All right. Now, a lot of them are saying it's your fault because you had those tax cuts and they didn't produce the revenue you thought, and that there's hell to pay. What is happening?
Well, think of Reagan in 1982. He gives his tax cuts in 1981. Tax cuts take a little bit of time to be able to generate and move forward. Ours are starting and moving forward earlier. But people early on are saying, well, wait, this isn't working quite right. But by 1984, if you give it a couple of years, people are saying, no, that's going the right direction. And we had to make a number of changes in the state of Kansas. We had to change our pension system, which was in the bankruptcy zone, and now it's not. We had to change our Medicaid system, which we weren't able to make all of our payments. Right. So we had to make a lot of changes. And, you know, now people are looking at it and saying, okay, I think this is moving in the right direction. But anytime you make change in politics, you know, people get antsy about that change taking place.
What's weird, Governor, about Kansas now, it's always been seen as a safe, reliable Republican bastion. And now I'm just wondering if we can read anything into fairly, not whether they're blaming you or whether they're blaming Republicans that are in power. But we're seeing Democrats who are in power in other states feeling it too. Is it just an anti-incumbent, mad at the world kind of deal?
I think there's some of that out there, Neil, undoubtedly, because people don't like the direction the country's going. And they're not only mad about it anymore, what do we do? It's, you know, people are really concerned just about the overall direction. So if you're in power, then I think people tend to look at it. I'm questioning you as well. I think at the end of the day, though, Pat Roberts is going to move on through this solidly.
But what happened there now? The argument was that the Democrat took himself off the list. You can't just do that. The court and the state, they've been arguing back and forth as to what's going to happen. To me, it looks, Governor, you and I were discussing briefly in the break, that there won't be a Democrat on the ballot, just the independent. So the independent is the guy who's now giving Roberts the run of his life, right?
Yeah, but we'll see, because there's also a statute that says you shall have a candidate on the ballot.
Time's a wasting here to put it on, right?
That is. So that's what the courts are ruling on now, is whether or not they shall have a candidate on that ballot.
All right. Now, the argument for another candidate is they would divide up that other vote, and it would be good for Roberts. But do you have a sense that he's in trouble, that you're in trouble in this environment?
You know, I think it's a tough environment right now. I really do. Overall, we've got unemployment at 4.9, record number of people working in the state of Kansas. We've cut everybody's income taxes. We're paying our bills. We've got money in the bank. You know, so I'm looking at it saying this is what's taking place. Now, the other guy is saying, look, I don't like any of the changes you made, and I want to go the Obama direction, two-time Obama delegate. And so we'll have a choice election at the end of the day.
But you had a fielder's choice of top Republicans campaigning for you. Who was the most important asset for you? Chris Christie helped you. Everybody.
You know, it's a diverse state. So Chris Christie helps me, some maybe on my left. Rick Perry was just in, helps me, some on my right. Rand Paul's coming into the state. The Republican Party is a broad-based party, and particularly in a state like Kansas, it has a breadth to it that you try to appeal to all branches of it, and independent and Democrat voters too. We just announced Democrats for Brownback last week, so we're getting them on board too.
Yeah, you got to get a moderate Republicans though, because they were the ones who ran to your opponent, or some of them did, right?
Some did. Yeah, and that's a move they did with Kathleen Sebelius before. They supported tax increases, and they supported Obamacare. So
the former governor became Health and Human Services Secretary. We should point out, Governor, just to be fair, we did call your opponent, Paul Davis, the House Minority Leader. We have yet to hear back. Hope springs eternal, fair and balanced, though we did want to do that. And, Governor, we appreciate it.
Good to see you.